tell us about what Skills USA does and what's like the purpose for your organization.
Sure. So SkillsUSA is a national and worldwide organization that focuses on promoting career and technical education. So that's the primary goal, with probably the little subsidiary goal here for SkillsUSA is to help fill the job gap, right? So we know that in the country there's so many missing jobs because skilled labor and skilled and technical vocational programming hasn't always been the thing that everyone encourages for students to go into when they leave high school, right? And so it's left America and its skilled workforce and a gap. And so primary focus of Skills USA is to help promote career and technical education across the board, right? But as a chapter here in Lynn, we do that in several different ways. So not only are we promoting career and technical education, which we do, but we do that by making sure that we're a visible face in the community as well, right? And so my goal as an advisor is to make sure that our students are not only proud of their career choices and their trades and have options, but also that they're learning those leadership skills and those soft skills that they're going to carry with them into the workforce or into their life in whatever way that was, whatever way that will be. And then for us, of course, we do that, a lot of our promotion and a lot of our extra work, we do that around community service, right? So we're constantly thinking of new and inventive ways to provide a service to our community and teaching our kids how to run these full-scale projects that keep them devoted and committed to the city of Lynn. Yeah. How's that?
That was good.
Long-winded, but a lot of people really do need a lot of clarification because and they see kids are walking around with these red blazers and they think we're movie ushers for things, but we do so much more than that, right? And so we want to make sure. I always want to make sure that they understand the full scale of what we do.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, as one of the biggest groups in the country, how much you go around assisting everybody, definitely a lot of people would have doubts with what you guys do, for sure.
Yeah. Moving on, I know one of your main focuses this year has been gratitude.
Yes.
That's the name of your project. Can you tell us a bit more?
Sure. Our project?
Our project.
That's right. It's not mine. I don't own it, but I'm lucky enough to be in the seat where I get to help lead the project. So every year in our chapter we try to find additional ways to help promote skills, right? And give our students the opportunity to step into those leadership roles. So we don't just talk about we teach kids to be leaders. We literally make them lead projects, right? And so this year our project, every year we kind of try to come up with a theme and think about different projects we could do. And through the years we've done a bunch of stuff. Last year we focused heavily on race and bias and privilege. The year before we did literacy, and we sort of take a theme into our school year, and then we really think about how do we make an impact on that. So this year we thought about, since COVID had really taken so much away from us, and we finally had this opportunity to be back in person and with each other and have this availability to do real things in real time with each other, that gratitude seems like an important thing for all of us to take into our hearts and invest that back into the community. So,
of course.
I know you guys had that big project that you guys did recently with obviously giving out the 2,000 gifts to teachers, and for sure I know those teachers can feel the gratitude that you guys have given them.
Absolutely.
And obviously you guys teach a lot of students, as you said, to be leaders, and I know now that a lot of seniors are soon to graduate, or year is coming to a close, what do you want those seniors to leave with? Like, what skills do you want them to have in the real world now that they're leaving high school?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I think that answer to that is probably different for every student. When you're part of a team, right, everyone sort of assumes different roles and responsibilities, and we see that they begin to emerge in different ways, right? Their talents emerge in different ways, and so for me, it's really just kind of about seeing what's available in students, and then helping to try to, highlight those skills, pull more out of them. But certainly I think the most important thing that I think I try to offer as the advisor of our chapter, right, is making sure they leave with all those soft skills too, right? So you're in TV media, right, guys, and you learn a lot of skills in there, right? You're learning how to record, you're learning how to broadcast, you learn how to podcast, and film, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, what I like for kids to take away is, how do you communicate effectively? How do you make sure that you know how to be a valuable member of a team? How do you know how to, work with integrity and work ethic? And so, the projects that we do require a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of commitment. And so those are some of the other things that I think our students definitely walk away from. And then at the end, for me, the biggest and most important thing is just making sure that they feel invested in their school and in their community in some way. And so that way they'll pay it forward someday, right? And so, I'm here as a product of Lynn and a Lynn kid who, went through Lynn Public Schools and now has been here. And, I push hundreds of other kids every year to be able to develop those skills. So hopefully someday when, they're older, right? When you're older and you're older, you do something to impact our community as well.
Of course. Yeah. And I believe that, well, as you know, Lynn has it's almost like a reputation, and it's really we here in LVTI have almost this advantage where we have skills. We have an organization where we can teach certain students to prepare themselves for the real world. We can for example, for skills, you're teaching each and every student to head into their trade, and not just teaching them their trade skills, but teaching them their life skills, like how to communicate, or even simple things such as writing a check. It's those small things that can determine your entire life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about skills, we focus on those soft skills through our framework, right? Mm-hmm. Personal, workplace, and technical skills, right? So when you're in shop, you're getting all those technical skills. You're getting some of those workplace skills, but the personal piece sometimes is what a lot of employers say students are missing, is those softer skills. So they could have somebody who's an incredible welder, but maybe they are missing some of those soft skills,
exactly.
Right? Or they don't know how to work in a team or, in a collaborative space, right? And we know that a lot of jobs and employers these days, that's really what they're looking for. They're looking for students who, not students, but employees who are well-rounded. And so I think that that's one of the focuses, one of the things that we really get to bring out and highlight with skills, is just making sure that they get that well-rounded look, right? So as a vocational school, they're getting the technical skills, it's grounded in academics, right? So they're getting those educational components just like the other comprehensive high schools around us, but they get a little bit more here, right?
Exactly.
And we're proud of that. And then, on top, skills is the icing on the cake, right? Where we really get to see leaders emerge and participate in some competitive spaces, which is something that they get to carry with them. As you guys know, congratulations. Exactly. You guys just won in audio and radio production, so no wonder we're sitting here, right? But, we get so much more from it, right?
Yeah. Definitely. And even in that small, month period where we were obviously, part of the competition, it made me realize, how grounded those skills really are. Because, when it comes to procrastination and not really, putting forward those skills that you're teaching them, how to, be, employees, proper employees, leaders, I realized just how important that is, because in that time period, it was putting it off and then trying again, putting it off, trying again. Just us studying as a group kind of put those skills forward, and all that stuff that I learned from my shop, a lot of the info that was on there, I didn't know anything about.
Right.
And the skills, part of it, the OSHA part of it, all that stuff kind of put it forward that, you need to try harder and become more mature.
Yeah, I think anytime too, when there's an opportunity for someone to engage in their competitive spirit, right, it really pulls something out of you that makes you greater.
Exactly.
Right, and I think Skills has this natural tendency to do that for students who are really looking for something more, who are looking to be better, who are looking to be greater. I heard one of the speakers today talk about God turned her microphone on, right? Like put it in her heart, right? And I think that Skills, not to be as dramatic as that, right? But has that availability to really help, just like you said, right? Us to realize, wait, I'm doing great in my shop, but I'm kind of
Lacking
plateauing, right? Like I'm not moving. What's the next level of that, right? And so I think Skills really allows students to do that, because where else can you legitimately end up saying, I'm the best podcaster on the North Shore, in Massachusetts, in the country, in the world, right?
Yeah.
And Skills kind of really does provide that in its own vocational Olympic sort of kind of way, right? To be a little cheesy, but we all like, we like that competitive spirit, and I think when you're put in that place to be competitive, it brings something greater out of you,
Definitely.
right? And so we do that with our competition, but then where we don't have to be competitive, but we're doing it for the right reasons and learning those softer skills, is when we engage in projects in the community or in the classroom or on the school, right? And so we're building all of that together, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I feel like it all comes back eventually, because like I said, our community is definitely strong and it's diverse, and teaching these students those skills will eventually help them give back to our community.
Yes.
And as you were saying about the competitions, we know that SkillsUSA is very known for bringing back gold, as you said before.
The tech.
Yeah, in tech, of course. What are some steps that you have your students take to be able to do that? Because I know for a fact it's not an easy process, especially since there's millions of kids nationwide trying to bring back the same.
Yeah.
What is something that you want your students to keep in their minds to be able to do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I guess kind of just like earlier, I mean, it is different for every kid. It's different for every competition. But I think the one thing that I try to model is that working hard, right? Like I think anybody who knows that knows me and sees me like working with our students knows that I'm always working, right? And that I'm working hard to help you guys and kind of bring you along. And sometimes, I'll call you on it, right? And so, when anyone's aspiring to be great, which, I don't think any of us are in this game because we just want to be average, And so I think I often find myself in that place where, like in the parental figure of like our organization, I'm standing at the top yelling and barking to make sure that things get done when they're not, and motivating people, right? And so I think, how do we get there is always the question, and how do you get there, and what do you do, and how does that happen, right? And I think that it just happens through hard work, dedication, and commitment, and I think that that's what I try to model, and that's what I ask for from any student who's involved in our organization, is to do just those same things, right? And so I think really that's how we get there, is we work hard together. When someone's not pulling their weight, we help them out, and so does that help? I kind of feel like I was circling around it. I don't know if I got there, but I think it's not an easy process, right? To win district is great, to win state is amazing, and to win national is incredible, right? And so it requires all those things in order to get there, but it requires vision and talent and commitment and dedication and motivation. But for me, when I get to see one of our students stand up on a stage and get to claim they're the best in the country, there's no greater feeling, And you know, hopefully the both of you will get to experience that in your time here.
Even just the little victories are already exciting, as you saw.
Feel great.
when I reacted. Even placing third place, like, yeah, I didn't qualify to properly compete, but still, like, all that work that you put in beforehand and finally getting it to pay off, it feels amazing. It's like getting your first paycheck when you had a job or something.
Yeah.
It feels great because you put in all that work
Right.
and you actually got something for it. It's
see
not
results.
It's not just leading to a dead end.
And it's no small feat either, right? Like, I mean, you think about it, you competed in district versus 15 other schools, right? So you came in third place among, you know, each school submitting, you know, 4 or 5, who knows how many competitors. You know, that means you got third out of, you know, at least 60, 75 teams. I mean, that's amazing, and that's something to be, like, excited about. And so, you know, as it continues to move on, that number grows, right? And I mean, you know, we know in the skills organization, SkillsUSA National, there's 15,000 chapters across the country, maybe more. And, you know, year after year, we've been recognized as one of the top, which is pretty amazing. And, you know, it didn't start there. You know, when I started working with SkillsUSA, I mean, we had maybe just a few members, you know, and it's grinding, you know, every year in, year out, finding ways to grow, thinking about how to engage you guys and how do we, you know, and then figuring out how to become competitive, you know, and at the end of the day, I think you highlighted it quite well. It's about helping the students find that part in themselves that makes them better. And, you know, I think you highlighted that quite well in your experience. And, you know, you guys are both great examples of that already.
Yeah. It's perfect.
As youngins, we got a couple more years to still grow, right? So it's awesome.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate everything
you.
you've said.